JKP Films presents If Cain Were Abel. Episode 5.
Later that very day, Eve, Sally and Kelly are standing in Eve's laboratory.
So, you managed to change the serial killer's minds?
Yes. All it took was a little gentle persuasion. Is the sperm alive?
Yes. The sperm from this donor is alive and well. It will take a while to screen all the specimens.
Let's just hope that they're all alive and kicking. Well, I'll leave you ladies to your important work then. You've got a lot to do. Oh yeah, the scientist will be coming over to help you.
Thanks, that should help to speed up the process.
You're welcome. Would it be possible to genetically enhance these children?
Yes, but there's laws against that.
There were laws against that. We're under a new establishment now.
I'm not sure of the ethical or moral.
Look, Eve, we have a chance to rebuild the human race however we see fit. And I think it makes sense to build a race which will be less susceptible to sickness and disease so that we won't find ourselves in a similar situation within a few months or years.
I'm not sure.
But what is there not to be sure about? Imagine a human race with all of our strengths enhanced and none of our weaknesses.
I think we should at least put this to a referendum first. Women have a right to choose after all.
The average member of society has no knowledge of these sorts of things. So they shouldn't be allowed to dictate policy. Let's have a vote on it now. You two are the experts, so we should be responsible for making this decision.
I don't think that's the right thing to do.
Why isn't it right? I mean, governments make decisions for society all the time, based on advice from experts. So this is nothing different or new.
I'm not sure about this.
OK, well, we both know where you and I stand on the matter, Eve. So, Sally has the deciding vote. What do you think, Sally?
I agree with Kelly 100%.
That's settled then. It's 2 against 1. How will it work?
The genetic enhancements won't take effect until the children reach puberty.
Why?
It's the safest way. We're navigating uncharted territory here.
Weeks after Kelly and Sally pulled the wool over Eve's eyes about how they managed to get the serial killer's sperm, Kelly is in 10 Downing Street, sitting behind her desk.
Enter. Sally, Eve, good to see you both. How's the artificial insemination programme going?
It's going well. 70% of the world's remaining population have opted in for impregnation, and we have already impregnated 50% of them. What's wrong, Kelly?
I wish more women would opt in. Continuing the human race should be everyone's number one priority at the moment.
Are you going to opt in to be impregnated?
No! My busy leadership lifestyle would seriously impede on my ability to raise children.
Well, once we have the elections, you might have a lot more time on.
What about you two?
I'm infertile, so I can't have kids.
And you, Eve?
Before the virus struck, children were never a part of my plan. But now that the continuation of the human race could depend on it, I'm all in.
A few weeks later, Helena Clark's at home. She's on her phone.
Crystal, I have one hell of a story for you in regards to our weather woman turned Führer. It contains corruption, lies, deceit, and the deliberate deceiving of the British people. Can I take it for granted that you will want an exclusive on this story?
Yes, can you meet me later on today?
Certainly. Can you make it to our usual spot by 12? I have to see my mum at 2:30, but I think that will be enough time for us to discuss this story.
Yes.
Great. I'll see you then. Bye.
Later that day, Kelly Shields has a meeting with Lady Turner in Lady Turner's office at the MI5 headquarters.
How can I help you, Prime Minister?
I would like to create an elite team who will act as my personal guards. I want them to be the best of the best.
That shouldn't be a problem.
I also would like them to have no children, so that their priority will just be me and the job.
I'll have a list of eligible candidates on your desk by the end of today. The list won't include anyone with kids or anyone who's opted in for the artificial insemination.
Brilliant. As always, you exceed all expectations, Lady Turner.
It's an honour to be able to serve you, Prime Minister.
The next day, Eve impregnates herself. Before too long, she has 2 identical fetuses growing in her womb. And 9 months later...
Push, Eve. Come on, you can do it.
I can't! I just can't do it!
Yes, you can. Just breathe deeply and push. That's it. The first one's out. It's a beautiful baby boy. Breathe. Breathe deeply.
I just
Now
can't
push.
do it!
Just one more push and the second one will be out too. You're doing brilliantly, Eve. You're doing brilliantly. Now breathe and push. Oh, that's it. He's out.
He's not breathing. Clear his airway.
Clearing his airway.
Oh my god! What's wrong with my baby? Please give me my baby!
Please, Eve, just let us do our job.
But what's wrong with him? Can I have my babies now, please? They're going to be okay, right?
Of course, we just need to do a few things for the babies, then we'll pass them over.
Hours after this, Eve is in her hospital bed on the maternity ward. Her twins are in their cots beside her bed. They're sleeping. She sends a quick text to her mum that says, "Mum, I know you're still not talking to me, but I just wanted to say that I had twins. I've called one Paul and the other Tristan, after Dad. Tristan wasn't breathing when he was born, but now we're all okay. The doctors seem to think that, well, they say I have nothing to worry about from here on in, but I'm still keeping a close eye on Tristan." Eve waits for a reply, and after a while, she then just puts her phone back on her bed, picks up her book off her lap and starts reading. Moments later, Sally Shaw and Kelly Shields walk up to Eve's bed. Sally has grapes in her hands and Kelly has flowers. Eve looks up at them and puts her book on her lap.
How are you and the kids doing?
We're all fine.
That's great. When do you think you'll be back at work? I want you to be Minister for Science.
I'm not going back to work. I want to dedicate all my time to being a full-time mother.
You have to come back, damn it. Society needs you.
I've made up my mind. I'm not going to
You
change.
have to.
No, I don't. The only thing I have to do is raise my children to the best of my ability.
Come on, Eve. Be reasonable. Why don't you work for the government for a year? And then you can...
I almost lost one of my children during childbirth. So there's no way I'm going to waste a year at work when I could be spending quality time with my kids.
But
nothing. Kelly, hold on. Aren't you putting the cart before the horse? Why are you putting together a cabinet before you've even held elections?
we can't afford to waste time on elections right now. After we rebuild society a bit more, we can hold elections. But until then, it makes more sense to continue with the status quo.
More sense to you, maybe.
How dare you! Just because I'm not willing to selfishly shun my responsibilities like you.
I think it's about time you leave.
Eve, don't be like that.
Leave.
Kelly, wait up. Don't let her get under your skin. She's not thinking straight at the moment.
No, she's not. Sally, I want you to be the head of science. I initially wanted you for the job anyway, but my advisors told me to give it to Eve. Because the public love her.
You know, she's not as great as everyone makes her out to be. I actually believe she removed the wrong gene from the serial killer's sperm.
Kelly frantically checks to see if anyone is around. No one's there.
Don't you ever repeat that in public again.
I'm sorry, I won't.
Have you got any irrefutable proof?
No, it's
And
just...
that's even more reason not to rock the boat. Do you know what would happen to our new establishment if the public got wind of this? Well, do you? A rumour like this alone could cripple us.
I'm sorry, you're right. I never wanted to jeopardise our establishment. I just thought the women have a right to know.
Kelly Shields glances left, right, and then whispers.
The public only needs to know what We say they need to know. What's the use of scaring them by telling them something which may or may not be true?
Back in the maternity ward,
Hello, Mum. I'm so sorry I couldn't make it to Dad's funeral.
Forget it, darling. We're past all of that now. The only thing we're going to concentrate on from now on is raising my grandkids and staying close as a family. Your sister and the twins and I will be there to see you within the hour.
meanwhile, in a secret location somewhere in London,
You don't mind if I record this, do you?
Do you have to?
No, I can make notes and instead of using your name, I can use your initials. Would you feel better about that?
Yes. You know, you can never be too careful these days, with people disappearing all over the place.
Okay, I'll do that. Tell me about your sister.
Are you sure it's safe to talk here?
You weren't followed here, were you?
No. I mean, at least I don't think so. I'm not used to this type of thing, but I don't think I was followed.
I wasn't followed, so if you weren't followed, then yes, we're safe. No one uses this derelict bunker anymore.
Okay then, if you're sure.
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay then. Well, my sister's Charlotte Reef, and she was MP prior to the virus striking. A few months ago, her and her friend Helena Clark, who was also MP before the virus struck, disappeared after speaking out against Kelly Shield's government.
Did they disappear around the same time?
Yes, both of them on the same day.
Is there a chance they could have gone on a trip together?
No way. On Friday the 15th of March, I had dinner with my sister, and we arranged to meet at her house the next day so we could take my daughter out for a birthday lunch. But when I got to my sister's house the next day, she wasn't there. And she didn't ring me to give me an explanation. It's just not like her. She loves Bianca and she'll never let her down like that without a good reason. And at least calling.
So it's out of character for her, but not out of the scope of possibility.
You don't understand. Me and my sister have never gone a day without speaking. But I haven't had a peep from her since the 16th of February.
What has Helena's family said about the disappearance?
Now that's even weirder. Helena has a daughter who is 3 years old and she was found at the home alone the day her mum disappeared. If that's not strange, then I don't know what is.
Take this burner phone. I'll look into it and then call you on this phone. Don't talk to anyone else about this, and don't let anyone know about meeting me or this phone.
the very next day at the Guardian office building,
Hilary, can we talk in private?
Of course, Gabby. Step into my office and close the door.
Thanks, Hilary. I've got one hell of a story.
Really? Let's hear it.
Well, I met up with Charlotte Reef's sister.
Charlotte Reef? The MP?
Yes. Her sister told me... Hold on. You know what? Read it for yourself, and you can tell me if I have a story or not. Here you go.
Oh my God. If this can be verified, then you indeed have one hell of a story. If TF is right about what happened to her sister, then we'll have to tread carefully with this one.
I know this is the type of story that would have got me a Pulitzer Prize before the Titan virus struck.
Hold on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we have to work out if TF's sister and her friend were indeed taken by our present government. And then we have to see how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Do you mind brainstorming with me in regards to how we can prove the government took them?
Not at all. But we need to establish if they were even abducted first.
Have you got time now?
Yes. Well, to start with, we can talk to the neighbours and the rest of the missing women's families.
Yes, and I've got a friend who works for the company that monitors the CCTV footage around London. I could check with her.
That will be a good start. I think we need access to these women's homes, just to check and see if we can find any evidence. Out of interest, has TF been to the police with this?
Yes, as there is no proof of breaking in or an abduction, the police haven't been any help.
It probably will be worthwhile finding out who investigated these cases and talking to those officers. But let's leave that until we've done some investigating of our own.
A dream is born, brewing inside of us. A dawn has come. Specks turn to stardust. Too much to learn, so little time to see. To yourselves, this is your odyssey. Let the fire burn, consume all my enemies. When the smoke clears from our sight, let the quiet calm our hearts. Children of hope, like a diamond will never break. Nowhere to hide, nowhere to go. Is this the end? End of our way? Save yourselves, save yourselves. Death will not be your fate. Let the fire burn, consume all my enemies. When the smoke clears from our sight, let the quiet calm our hearts. Save yourselves, don't give up on you.